Welcome to Japan and More, where we answer your questions about traveling Japan. Today's question is, what are 12 things that are considered rude in Japan? So today, we're going to tell you about noise, trash, eating and drinking, smoking, feet, slippers, reclining seats, luggage, priority seats, cash, sitting areas, and red lights.
So let's start with noise. As Westerners, we use a big voice. We use loud voices. Well, in Japan, it's not so common to speak loudly, especially in things like public transportation. It's a better idea to use a softer voice and not shout across the train or the aisle. A lot of times you'll be on commuter trains and they'll have seats across from each other. And what you don't want to do is you don't want to sit across from each other and carry on a conversation that way. It's better if you sit next to each other so that way you can talk at a bit of a softer voice.
Also, don't talk on the phone while on public transportation. There are signs everywhere, but if you're new to Japan, you may not know that you're not supposed to place phone calls while you're on public transportation. And you should put your phone on silent mode so that it doesn't make any kind of noise. Even the texting, ticking noise is too much on public transportation in Japan. Also, you should wear headphones if you're watching any kind of videos or movies or listening to music. And make sure that there isn't noise leaking out of the headphones. And you'll see signs for that too. Next is trash. It is considered rude to throw away your trash in the restrooms. Recently, the trash cans in the restrooms have been really piling up. And now I'm starting to see signs reminding people to take their trash home with them. And that's kind of what you're supposed to do. So there's not a lot of trash cans in Japan, I know. But you are supposed to carry your trash with you until you find an appropriate trash can. And the appropriate trash can is not in the restrooms.
And take your trash off the train. You can throw the trash away either on your way off the train. There's sometimes a trash can there by the door. And if there's not, you can very often find trash cans on the platform, more often than not, actually. Try not to leave your trash on the train where you are sitting in the seat pocket in front of you. When you get off the train, someone else is going to get on the train and probably sit in the seats that you were in. So you don't want to leave your trash there. You want to take it out of there and just throw it away on your way out.
Next is eating and drinking. You have probably heard this before, but eating while walking is considered rude in Japan. The idea behind this is that you should step aside and appreciate your food. But there's more reasons than that to not eat and walk. First of all, there's trash. So when you take something to eat and then you walk away, then you're stuck with the trash. There's not a lot of trash cans in Japan, so you may be holding a coffee cup or a wrapper or something for the rest of the day until you can find a trash can. So it's completely appropriate to go back to the place where you bought something and have them throw it away for you. Now, don't ask places where you didn't buy something to throw something away, though. That's not good to do. Another reason is preventing spills and trash on the sidewalks. So that's another reason that Japan doesn't have a lot of trash cans, is because they don't want everybody's ice creams to be on the sidewalk or
Starbucks cups.
Or Starbucks cups, yeah.
Starbucks cups are an issue because people will throw them away inside of the bottle can recycling trash cans, which is not where they're supposed to go. So it's best to enjoy your cup of coffee at the place you buy it, and then they have the appropriate trash cans to throw it away.
Also, another thing to keep in mind is that it's not okay to eat or drink on local trains and subways. Basically, if there's a tray, then it's okay. So on express trains and the bullet trains, there's a tray that comes down, and that's okay to eat and drink. But on your local trains and subways, there's no tray, so it's not okay.
And that brings us to smoking. Smoking on the street is not okay. You'll often see signs on the sidewalk that say no smoking. There are designated smoking areas in cities, and many hotels and restaurants also have these designated rooms. Try not to light up and walk down the street.
Next is feet. Basically, putting your feet anywhere that someone could sit is considered rude. In Japan, your shoes are dirty. They're very dirty. So you shouldn't prop your feet up on a bench or a chair or anywhere that someone might sit. And this also includes tying your shoes. So you shouldn't prop your foot up on a bench or a chair to tie your shoes. That's not to say that you can't prop your feet up, but you need to take your shoes off. So if you take your shoes off and you have socks on, probably no bare feet, but if you're wearing socks, then you can prop your feet up on a bench or a chair. That's perfectly fine. And on some trains, there is a footrest. And sometimes the footrest has two sides. Now, this is very important because one side is for your shoes and the other side is for your socked feet. The side that matches the carpet on the floor is for your shoes. And the side that matches the upholstery on the chairs is for your feet, or your socked feet.
And that brings us to slippers. Wearing slippers on tatami mat flooring is not a good thing to do. You should never wear your slippers on tatami. Also, don't go barefoot on tatami. You want to wear socks to walk around with tatami mats.
Always bring some socks.
Yeah, I always have a pair of socks in my backpack. So if you're wearing sandals, flip-flops, you should always have a pair of socks.
Next, let's talk about reclining seats. It's okay to recline your seat. On the bullet trains and the express trains, there are seats that recline, and you can go ahead and recline them. However, you need to be cautious of the person behind you. So make sure that either there's not anyone sitting behind you, or if there is, then don't recline your seat all the way. If you recline your seat as far back as it goes, then it might obstruct the activities of the person behind you, and they might get a little upset with you. So reclining your seat all the way is considered rude.
And the seats recline pretty far back on the Shinkansen. If you watch Japanese people, before they recline their seat, they'll turn around and they'll gesture to the person behind them that they're going to recline. It's seen as a little bit more polite to not recline it all the way.
And remember to put your seat back in the upright position before getting off the train. There is an announcement usually in Japanese to do this, but not so often in English.
Luggage. Taking up too much space with your luggage is not a polite thing to do. When you get on a train, try to take up as little space as you can. Another thing is don't put your luggage on the seat. The wheels, just like your shoes, are dirty, and you need to think about someone being able to sit down on the seat, so don't occupy seats with your luggage either.
Also, don't take suitcases on a bus. Buses get really packed with people, congested, and there's just not any room for suitcases. It kind of annoys everybody around you, and it's really just best to take a taxi if you need to get somewhere instead of taking a bus.
And if you're taking a train, like I said, keep the suitcases next to you, but also don't block the doors of the train or subway with your luggage. Make sure you're kind of staying out of the way so people can board and disembark the train.
And then there's backpacks. If you are wearing a backpack and the train is getting crowded, you need to flip it around to the front, or you can take it off and just hold it down by your legs.
Yeah, when the backpack's on your back, it takes up a lot of room, and any kind of shifting hits people and it gets in the way.
Next is priority seats. When you're riding the trains and subways, you'll notice that at the end sections, there are some priority seats that are for people who are elderly or disabled, pregnant women, or people carrying a baby can sit in these seats. There's been a lot of controversy lately about whether it's okay to sit in these seats or not. Personally, I feel that you just shouldn't sit in these seats unless you are eligible to sit in the seats. People are not going to ask you to get up out of your seat. They'll glance at the seat, and if it's occupied, then they'll end up just walking the other way and standing. So it's better just to leave these seats open so that people who need them can sit down.
Next is cash. Handing someone money. So when you go to a register and you're paying for your items, there's often a blue, green, some kind of tray next to the register. Use that to put your cash in. Don't hand the cash directly to the cashier. Put your cash and your coins in the tray, and then they will take it out of the tray and they'll put it in the register. When they give you your change, sometimes they'll put it in the tray, but oftentimes they'll also hand it to you.
Next, let's talk about sitting areas. Well, there aren't a lot of places to sit in public in Japan. Even parks, they don't have very many benches. And it's not acceptable to sit in many places, such as sitting on the floor of train stations, on train subways, sitting on the stairs of temples and shrines, and basically just sitting anywhere where there isn't a chair or a bench isn't really acceptable. Most people, when they want to sit, they'll go to a cafe.
Mm-hmm.
There are cafes all
Everywhere.
over the country, and you can go to a cafe just about anywhere and order something small, a coffee, whatever you like, and you can have a seat, and you can sit for as long as you like.
As long as you want, yeah. Red light. Crossing on red. Don't do this. Just wait patiently, take a moment, have a Zen moment, meditation, and even if there's not a car in sight, still wait. You wait for the crosswalk to turn green. Don't cross while it's red.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and tell us your questions about traveling Japan in the comments section below. We might answer it in the next episode.
And for more information about traveling Japan, check us out on japanamore.com.